Hi, welcome to my channel Takniki Gyan Guru. We'll discuss how to create EC2 instance or EC2 machine. We will create Ubuntu manually, right? So how to create EC2 instance manually into AWS, right? So some high level step we will talk about. So creating an EC2 instance involves several steps, right? So we have many steps to create. So I have defined some of these steps over here. So let's understand. First is we need to log into the AWS site. Second one is go to EC2 dashboard. We'll go to the EC2 dashboard, and then we'll launch an instance, right? And then we'll choose, when we launch an instance, we will choose AMI. Which AMI we need to, provision, like it is Windows, Linux, or other OS involved, right? That image we need to select, and then we have to. Today we will create some Ubuntu machine, right? Now choose a instance type. Again, based on the instance type, your cost will be depends on your instance type, right? So we will choose only micro for free tier, right? We have already discussed in the previous video. So configure the instance details. We configure all the other details we'll talk about in the demo, and then we'll add storage. For now, default whatever storage will be there, we will use that one. We don't need the extended storage. So by default we will use, and then we will use some tag is important when we want to track who this infrastructure belong to whom, right? So then in that case we need to tag each and every component with the that resource owner. The configure security group. So security group is also important. All these infrastructures should be accessible to outside, right? So we want to create security group, and then we have to use some security rules, right? Firewall rules to open some of the port. So if it is Linux box, we need to open some 22 ports so that we can SSH it. Or if so for window, we need to use RDC. So RDP is basically remote mm, desktop connection, right? So that we can connect our virtual machine from our laptop, right? So we need to use some port, open some port also. Or if we are deploying some application, we need to open the 80 ports, right? So now review and launch. Once all the configuration is done, then we'll review and then launch the EC2 machine. So these are the steps to create our instance manually in AWS. And once the instance is created, then we can access the EC2. How we can access? We can create a key pair, or at the time of creating this, we can create or map one of the key pair, and if key pair is exist, and then launch the instance and logging your instance through the key pair. So let's see how we can do this. So time for demo. Let's move to the Amazon browser. aws.amazon.com/console. On it, you will come to the site, and you have to log in, right? So sign into the console. So once you click, I am the root user. If you have the I am user, you can use it. So user is already selected, password is already selected. So you can put your password here, and it will come to the dashboard. So you can directly search EC2. This is the EC2. Click on this. Click on running instance. There is no running instance as of now. So we want to create a EC2 box. We can go to the right corner, launch instance. Click on the launch instance. Now this is the page where we need to configure everything. So first of all, the name, right? So I would say web server a web server. What kind of app of OS I want? The AMI. This is the AMI. So we need to choose which AMI I want. I want the Ubuntu, right? So Ubuntu. If I search, this is the Ubuntu. I click on the Ubuntu, and you can see the AMI is Ubuntu Server 22.04 LTS. So this is my AMI I have chosen. Based on this, the EC2 will be created. Description architecture in AMI ID is this given based on your selection. And so the instance type, for the free tier, we are the free tier, so we can choose only T2 micro. Otherwise, if you want to pay, and you can choose as per your requirement, right? For T2, it will have 1 GB CPU and 1 GB memory RAM, right? So this is okay for the demo. We don't want the key pair. For the Linux Ubuntu, we need to use some key pair file. So for the login, so we don't have. If you have, it will come under this. We don't have the key pair. We need to create one. So let's say web server key. Okay, I want PEM file and create. It will download right in my system. So I will use when I log into the system. So I'll show you right now. Key pair is done. Selected key pair. Now network setting. Network setting, the BPC, right? The by default it is showing. If you want, you can add it and choose your one, because by default it create BPC with 172.3.31.0.0/16 by default BPC. Any subnet preference inside this BP, three subnets are there. I don't have any preference over here. Auto scaling is auto assign public IP is this. If it is disabled, then you can't access your machine from outside, right? It can be accessed inside AWS only. So it will expose one IP address that can be used from outside, right? So that should be enabled. And okay, and firewall security group, so we need to create a security group, uh, right? So either you can create or you can choose one of them. So SG1, where we are saying we are opening SSH. We don't want to open everything, right? We only want SSH, because we want to log in through SSH port 22. Anywhere means it will open all the port, right? That is very risky. If you say anywhere, can anybody can access this machine if he has the credentials, right? And my ip is basically it will get your IP address, and then it will get your IP address, and you only can access to um, this machine, right? So sometimes we say okay, my ID, and you can open different other ports also, or you can give different IP addresses who can access this machine. Storage by default 8 GB, so that's enough for us. We can't change, we can't have multiple advanced details. We don't need, because it is advanced detail, we don't need to fill up. So for the summary, you can see I want one instance. If you make changes, if you want 5 instance, it will create, you need to mention 5, and then 5 instance will be created. The server type, instance type will be T2 micro. A security group is creating, and volume 1 8 GB. It is free tier, right? So it is free tier is saying the clause about the free tier clause is there. And you can go to launch instance. Success. If you go to instance now, you can see your web server is there. Now we there are multiple way of doing the connect. So let's click on action in the right corner and then click on connect. In the connect, this is one of the way to connect your instance, using this option. One option is the connect using EC2 instance connect, and another option is this one, right? It will connect through the endpoint. One of the session manager also available, SSH client and EC2 serial console. So we would prefer the SSH connection, right? So what it says, open SSH client, look at your private key. I have shown you the private, I will show you the private key there, and launch this. Used to launch the instance using this web server.pem key we have created just now. And we need to change the you know permission of the web server key. So 400 chmod 400 for this file, so that it will have permission, right permission to use it, right? Connect your instance using public DNS. This is the public DNS. So how we can log in? For example, sshi web server key .pem, the pem file. So you, first of all, you need to move to the pem file, and then Ubuntu the username at, this is the URL, the DNS name, or you can also use the IP address over here. Just copy it, and let's go to the command prompt and check how we can log in it. So now we are in command prompt. Let's dir and see our web server uh, key.pem file is here. So using this, I just copy this whole command, ssh hyphen I web server key.pem ubuntu at the rate the DNS name of this machine, right? You can use the IP address also, will work. If you run, then you will log into the Ubuntu server. Now you can say mkdir s and say ls the file. Whatever you can do, this machine is created. Now you can do whatever you want to do. So now demo is done. One more thing is, I want to clarify this server key.pem file. If you are pushing into your Windows, then you have to change the permission, right? You have to go to the pem file, right click, and then go to the properties, and then you need to remove the inherited permission, and then give the full permission to this file, and then you can use this to connect your Linux box. If you are still facing the issue, just let me know. I will definitely give you a step by step how you can give the permission to this file into the Windows. This will end to this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. So if you really like this video, and want more such videos and as per your topic, just comment me, and please do like, share and subscribe. It will come back with more such good videos. Thank you so much. Goodbye.